Hi there, this is Kurt Hake. This video contains the calculator app that I built in ReactNative for my mobile app development class. I built it based on all of these videos that I watched in HandlebarLabs. Alright, so now I'll show you some basic functionality of the app. And bear with me, I've had a bad network connection today, so it might lag a little bit due to the screencasting. Alright, so there, like 3 plus 6 equals 9. Divide that by 3, make it 3. I can press percentage to turn that into 0.03. You can press minus to change that to a negative. Press it again just to change it back. Clear it. Everything seems to be working just fine. Alright. So now I'll get into the code. Most of the code was actually pretty simple. It's more simple than I expected. There wasn't a lot new added from the first app, which kind of makes sense. The instructor said that the point of this app was to get more practice using state and set state, and that was a concept that we already covered in the first app. So probably the biggest new concept was actually just the fact that the code was split up into 4 different files. In addition to index, we had calculator, button, and row, and then just imported all of that in, as you can see here. I had a bit of issues with that at first, actually. I thought that the imports weren't working correctly because that's what the error messages were saying, but after some research I actually discovered that the imports were working fine. It was just showing that error message because of an issue with NPM, so actually just restarting NPM fixed that problem. Okay, so if I actually go down to render here, you can see all of these buttons that are embedded within rows. What that does is the purpose of row, as you can see here, there isn't much to it, is just to hold buttons. So buttons are placed in rows, and then the rows are then just placed in basically a big column, and that creates the grid of buttons that we see on the screen. Now the actual math code and logic, I won't really get into. It's pretty simple. It's the sort of stuff that we've been doing in Java for forever. So we have all these handle tabs here that handle all of the math. Every button shows the text that's on it, and then after that, it also contains all the math function that it's supposed to have. Alright, so yeah, sort of already explained. Row, yeah, buttons, are just more touchable opacity like in the first app. Pretty much the same as before. Yeah, so like I said, there wasn't really a lot new.